The standalone movies are fan service, whether you like it or not, because they're not. It's just deepening the story on the characters we already know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that.
And they can live by themselves. No, I'm fine with it too.
Right.
But to 99% of all Star Wars fans, Star Wars is different is because it's a saga, it's a trilogy, it's a continuing story.
Right.
So these one-offs, I never expected it to beat episode 7 or 8.
Right.
No, a lot of people may not even like Han Solo. So why am I going to go see Han Solo?
Right. But I think there's still merit in doing stuff like that. Just not expecting it to beat episode 7, obviously. But I'm also sick of the box office numbers too. Like, is the movie good? Because Solo was fucking awesome.
To the same degree, though, because if the younger generation may not be interested in Han Solo because they grew up with the prequels or they grew up with the sequels, which Han Solo isn't really a part of.
Right.
I mean, he died in 7, but that's it.
Right.
That's all you need to know. So Solo wasn't near and dear to probably half of the Star Wars fans out there now.
Well, I also said that I'm not a huge fan of Solo, but watching Solo made me like Han Solo more.
See, that's the thing, because you have an open mind. And you go in and you're just like, yeah, obviously I'm a Star Wars fan, so I'm going to go see a Star Wars movie.
I'm just a shill, aren't I? Look around, all this Star Wars stuff. I was given this by Bob Iger. He sent it over to me. He paid me to say nice things about his movies.
Bob Iger.
A little fucking movie studio here.
Bob Iger gave me it. It ain't the best stuff.
I remembered what I was going to say earlier, and then as we were talking about that, I forgot it again. So,
so let me tell you a story.
That's the status of
the exact same thing happened to me when I was a kid. I was playing, like riding my bike or something, and I got really excited. I was just like, oh, I have an idea. I'm going to do this. I got so excited. I put all my toys away, put my bike away, and as soon as I was just like, let's do it, I completely forgot of what the fuck my idea was. And I was so mad for like a week straight. I was like, I had the best idea.
That's been happening more and more. It's pissing me off.
I canceled all my plans of riding the bike in circles to do this one thing, and now I can't do it because I fucked around.
Yeah, Pat Hastings says it's so ironic how the fan service is disliked by fans. Oh, okay. I remember. Thank you, Pat. I heard a review about the Solo movie. Oh, it's just all the stuff we already knew about. Like, oh, he meets Chewie. Well, yeah, we already knew he met Chewie. Well, oh, it's Lando's there. Well, yeah, we already know he's friends with Lando. It's like, how is that an argument for anything? That was the point of the movie, is to get more details on all of that shit. It's an origin story. Like, that was the point. How is that a negative aspect of your review?
It's expanding on the Star Wars characters that we already know and building the relationships and making like Han Solo and Lando's relationship in episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
It makes it way better because all of it means more. So what do you... Yeah.
That's also like saying this movie's bad because it follows the movie before it. Like episode 8 continued the story of Kylo and Rey. It's terrible for that reason. That's how much sense that makes. Stop. It's enough. I'm done. The question about the spin-off movies, before we move on, is do you think Star Wars is able to have all of these spin-off movies and origin stories and kind of keep it like the MCU has been set up, where you have some movies that bring everybody together, and then you have movies more focused on individuals that give them their backstory, or Easter eggs come in, or some characters cross over. Like, is Star Wars capable of doing that? I think they're capable of doing it, but do you think it's a good fit for Star Wars, like stylistically?
No, I don't. Reason being is Marvel Universe was set up using those individual films. Iron Man,
right?
Captain America. We learn about new characters through these new films.
Yeah.
Star Wars is backwards, where you watch the trilogies to find out the new characters, new relationships, new plots.
Right.
So Star Wars is almost backwards in doing this.
Right.
Which is fine. But yeah, I don't like if let's just make up a new character. 3 tubes. Three Tubes is we're gonna do a Three Tubes movie, but we're gonna do Three Tubes at the end of this year, and then he'll be in episode 9 next year. Three Tubes, the film it wouldn't sell because no one knows who it is, no one cares. See, that's the luxury that Marvel has, is all the characters are already known. Captain America, he's been around in comics for...
Yeah, that's true. But I guess the question is Disney willing to sacrifice a bit of box office performance in order to fill an overall long-term story? Because I would say that the answer to that would be yes. That's a good move, that they should do that. But I don't know if they will.
I don't think it's a good move.
I don't know. That was my preference, because I've never been big into comics, and I really fell in love with the MCU. And one of the reasons was all those intertwining stories and characters. And especially when they come together, like Infinity War was amazing that they pulled that off, like purposefully holding off that payoff for 10 years until you get to Infinity War. I thought that was great, and I was hoping that Star Wars would be able to do that. I don't know if they actually will. It's a good question.
Fair assessment.
Fair assessment.
Yeah, I just don't. I think Star Wars is set up a certain way, and it's different because of that. Where it's a timeline, it's a storyline, and you go from. It's like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is the same way, where you start at point A and you end at point C, and whatever characters you come across is what you're going to learn about.
But that's a little different because that's coming off of source material that already existed. And I think maybe that's why Marvel has more freedom to do that, is that all that stuff already existed. And they may be changing the story of the character slightly here. Like maybe Spider-Man's main villain is going to be Vulture instead of Kingpin or whatever the fuck. But that's all building off of material that's already been written. Star Wars is kind of starting from scratch with every new thing that they do, which kind of makes it harder for them to go off the rails and change stuff up and do an origin story about Bosk and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the focus is different, because obviously the focus of Marvel is the actual superheroes and possibly the villains. I feel like Star Wars is more, I don't know, time and place in a certain galaxy, as opposed to watch Rey, even though she's a main part of it, watch Rey go from here to here, and this is where she struggles. Because it's a wider picture. There's more involved. It's not just Rey. If there was a Rey movie, I don't think I would like it. I don't want to watch an entire just only Rey. It's not
That's
interesting
way.
enough.
Yeah.
It's not interesting enough for me to be balls deep. I would rather watch her grow and learn about the galaxy around her
In the context of the story.
Yeah, in the context of what's moving already.
That makes sense. I feel that.
And they use plot devices like the Empire or the First Order, clear bad guys, but it's not one guy.
Right.
It's oppression on a grand scale that Rey, Finn, Poe, they all live in.
Mm-hmm.
And how are they going to overcome this struggle? As opposed to, I'm Captain America, there's that one bad guy that doesn't like me. Let's defeat him.
Right.